This is so windy. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that I'd be particularly extra and take you down to Bournemouth Beach. It's probably the most overcast day, it's really windy, there's lots of noise here, so I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear me well, but I'm going to be talking about my travel plans for this year on this epic adventure that I'm about to go on. So if you want to find out exactly where I'm going to be going and what my plans are, then stay tuned. So I've already mentioned that at the end of August I'm going to be moving to Australia, and the first stop in my Australia trip is going to be Melbourne. So we fly from London to Melbourne with a short stop in Jakarta. I'm going to be traveling with my best friend on this planet, John, so you're going to get to meet him at some point along the way. And our plan is to book about 1 week in a hostel in central Melbourne so that when we get there we have somewhere to go, we have somewhere to stay, and from then pretty much we have no plans. So as soon as we get to Melbourne we're just going to hopefully experience the city, see what Australian life is like. But because it's the middle of winter in Australia when we get there, I would love to do our 88 farming days or our 88 days of regional work as soon as we get there. So in case you didn't know, if you're doing a 1-year visa in Australia, the working holiday visa, you can extend it for another 12 months if you do 88 days farming work. Now, this is obviously something that I want to do because going to Australia, which is pretty much the other side of the world, I want to make the most of it, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I will definitely, fingers crossed, be staying there for 2 years, which means I'll be doing my 88 days on the farm. Yeah! So after we do our 88 days on a farm, then I guess we'll have saved some money up, enough to go travelling around the east coast of Australia. I have a list here of all of my places that I want to go. So one thing I'm really excited about going to Melbourne is obviously the gay scene. I've heard that the Melbourne gay scene is phenomenal. You know, I've watched a lot of videos about it. I've followed so many amazing Melbourne drag queens on Instagram, and I'm so excited to get there and meet them and experience it. So after we spend some time in Melbourne, what I would really love to do is head on a road trip through the east coast of Australia, go to Sydney, travel all the way to Cairns, making all the stops at the big destinations along the way. So obviously on my list is the Whitsunday Islands. That looks like an incredible place to go. I've never done surfing before, I've never scuba dived, I've never done any kind of water-based activities, so that's massively at the top of my to-do list. Obviously when we're in Australia I want to see all the major cities such as Sydney, Cairns, Brisbane, Perth, Canberra. I mean, it goes without saying that when you go to Australia you have to visit these places, so I'm really excited to go there and experience that. Of course, I don't want to miss out on all of those Instagram places. The Whitsunday Islands looks absolutely phenomenal. Bondi Beach, Byron Bay, Surfers Paradise, Gold Coast. All of these places are on my to-do list, but if you've been traveling before through Australia and you have any recommendations, my list is flying away. If you've been to Australia and you have any recommendations, please leave it in the comments below and I will definitely check it out, because let's face it, I've never done a trip like this before, so I am quite new to this and I would love your advice. I happen to have a couple of relatives in Brisbane, so that is on my list as well, and Cairns, which is apparently the adventure capital of Australia. While I'm in Australia I want to do all of the big bucket list activities: bungee jump, skydive, scuba dive, whitewater rafting, skiing, gangbangs, fight the koala bears, eat some kangaroo. What am I saying? I don't know, but you get my drift. I want to do all the fun stuff that I can while I'm in Australia, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have enough money to do it all. So, apart from Australia, one of the countries that I really want to visit is Bali. I mean, of course, right? But seriously, Bali looks like paradise to me, and I've heard nothing but great things from all of my friends and all of the travel vloggers that I watch on YouTube about Bali. If you have any recommendations about Bali, let me know in the comments. I'd love to visit Ubud, the rice terraces, the monkey forest, go snorkeling obviously in the crystal blue waters of Bali, and basically just explore the culture of Indonesia. I've never been to that part of the world before, so while I'm in Australia, I thought I have to go to Bali and Southeast Asia. Thailand is another place that I would love to visit. Phi Phi Islands, Chiang Mai. It looks like the ultimate backpacker destination, and I've heard nothing but great things about it, so obviously that's also on my to-do list. Now, of course, I don't know how probable this is, but also on my list is India. I have my best friend Shivani lives in New Delhi, and she's extended an invitation to me to come and visit, and India looks like such a colourful, vibrant, beautiful place. If I have the time, if I have the funds, if an opportunity arises to visit India, then New Delhi is for sure where I'm going to go. I also have a friend in South Korea, in Seoul, which sounds like a beautiful, beautiful place. I absolutely love Korean people and the food, the flavours, and just the lifestyle, the culture. It's all so exciting to me, and yeah, I'd love to visit South Korea. This year I've met a couple of people from Lebanon, so obviously Lebanon sounds like a beautiful paradise place to visit. The food, the Lebanese food, has to be my absolute favourite. It's Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, a lot of vegetarian options, a lot of salads, full of flavour and freshness. So Beirut is one of these places that I absolutely have to visit. If not this year, next year, or in the coming years. And can I just say that Lebanese guys are probably the hottest on the planet. You heard it here first, guys. If you're Lebanese or if you're an Arab guy and you want to host me and take me on a trip around Lebanon, hit me up. After I hopefully spend 2 years in Australia doing my working holiday visa, what's after that? Well, I think from what I've heard from other travel vloggers who've done the backpacking experience, you cannot really plan these big long trips that well. So this video might go completely out the window when I get there. But I do want to do a working holiday visa in New Zealand as well. I've been very inspired by Christiane's videos, aka Backpacking Bananas. She did a whole series on Australia and a whole series on New Zealand, and it just looked like she had the best time ever. So I figured, why not follow in a similar kind of path and do my working holiday visa in Australia, followed by working holiday visa in New Zealand. And finally, on my travel bucket list is the Faroe Islands. Now, a lot of you might not have heard of the Faroe Islands, but if I just put up a couple of pictures on the screen, you will see how absolutely stunning it is. My favorite kind of destination is where the cliffs meet the sea, lots of islands, lots of high peaks and mountains and places to go hiking, not to mention that the people from the Faroe Islands and the history there is super interesting, and it's a place that I would love to explore fully in depth, learn about the culture and the history of the island. Only 50,000 people live there in the whole of the Faroe Islands, so it's obviously this beautiful, naturally preserved place with a really pure and simple way of life that I am so attracted to. And that's it for my travel bucket list. But what about my reasons for traveling? I mean, what do I want to get out of this big epic adventure that I'm about to go on? Well, that's quite hard to answer because I don't exactly know the reasons why I'm going on this trip, but something inside me is just telling me that I have to do it. I mean, I'm 24, I'm going to be 25 when I get to Australia. I just think that I'm at a point in my life where I don't exactly know where my future is leading me, and I want to do this now. And I feel like when I go traveling, I'm going to be able to discover so many things about myself, about the world, and hopefully contribute in some positive way to YouTube, to Instagram, to social media, to my friends and my family's lives. I'm looking forward to sharing this journey with everyone. But obviously moving to the other side of the world is really scary. It's something I've never done before, and I have quite a lot of fears and anxieties about it as well. Being so far away from my family and my friends and everything that I know back home is a little terrifying. And I'm not a negative person, in fact I'm hugely positive. I think very optimistically, but I do worry about leaving my family and my friends, and you know, what if something happens back here? I can't really let that get to me. You know, I've booked my ticket now, I'm ready to go. I've started saying goodbye to some of my friends, I've already said goodbye to my family, and obviously I'm not going to let myself fall into this anxious or negative way of thinking about it. I mean, just being on this beach right now, this could be one of the last times that I'm here before I leave. And this place, Bournemouth, has played a huge part in my life. I mean, like, not to get all soppy and emotional here, but I've discovered so many things about myself while I've been in Bournemouth, and it's been the place where I've really grown up and where I've really come to terms with who I am. And I feel like this trip is the next chapter in my life, and I couldn't be more excited for it, and I couldn't be more excited that I'm going to be sharing it with all of you 7 viewers who watch my channel. Anyway, I'm going to leave on that note, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any recommendations of places for me to visit, hostels to stay in, please leave it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my travels. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm going to leave you on this beautiful beach. See you later.